TV show to then, I mean, you know, she's got twins.
Yes.
And she, whenever I've ever heard her interview, she's incredibly humble. Like she is not she doesn't come across in her interviews at all as a diva. And she, you know, I think that her personal,
from around
right. And her personal life obviously has been right there, and she's pretty honest about, you know, I love. And I kind of keep allowing myself to kind of fall in these situations. But again, she's another machine who I know that you don't just pop on a stage and then just, you know, play in Vegas every day, you know, and just, you know, I'm just Jenny from the block. No, this is a hell of a lot. Like, this is major. So, I mean, I just really respect that. And I think that, you know, I wish... As an art, I'm not Beyonce or J-Lo, but I'm working really hard. And one of the other things that I have to do is surround myself with people who are at least willing to be open to the idea that this is work, and that, you know, that this is not purely just... Value. Yeah, and value this a certain way. And that doesn't mean put me on a pedestal or make me, you know, but it's just, you know, be respectful of time, of, you know, if I'm not always... like, you know, able to do this, it's not personal, you know, like you talk about we're going to the kids things. I mean, I really have to, because I have to travel so much, I have to tell my kids, you know, often, like, you know, mommy missed Mother's Day because of, you know, travel with music. Mommy missed Thanksgiving, you know, because, and these are major things that I absolutely, you know, wanted to be with my family to be able to do. But, you know, by sitting down and explaining it to them, and, you know, my youngest is like, well, Mommy, you know, why can't I just play your CD? They have the CD, just play it. Why they got to see you perform it? So I try to teach them, you know, what that means, how Mommy has to do. You know, that's hard. It's hard, but I think it has taught them. I'm hoping that when they become adults, they'll honor whatever their passion is, because they'll have seen their parents working through that and you know, and trying to, you know, make sure that you honor your passion. And
then also get to your higher self. And I love the fact you have boys. I have a daughter. I have a son, but my daughter is very in tune. She writes me letters, and I posted some and shared. Mommy, I'm so proud of you as LSH. Mommy, you know, and I'm praying for LSH. So I have my little angel here who is helping to propel it forward. So for me, I know that this is the beginning, and that she's watching me.
Oh, absolutely.
And so what she's going to know in her own life is that sometimes it's not the time, because, you know, I was there for a long period of time. When she was a baby and she was younger. But now it's my time, but it's my time to do the things that I love to do. That doesn't take away from the love I have for you. And the quality time that we do, the time we do have, let's make it quality. And so we're both being fed and nourished. And so...
And that's, I mean, and boys are different in that expression, you know, in the way they express. But I will say, like, my son, like last night, you know, I have really been trying to, on my weekends when I don't have to perform, you know, I don't really get on social media and stuff, and like just really try to be with my family. And so last night we decided to go bowling, and I suck. I'm really bad at bowling. And, you know, my kids, they're bad too. Like, we're all kind of bad. Mine's not too bad, but we're all kind of bad. So we're gone bowling, and, you know, it was fun. And, you know, after bowling, it's like, okay, let's go. You know, my little guy, I want to go to Chili's. I'm like, I don't want to go to Chili's. I don't want to go to Chili's. We're not going to Chili's. And so my husband pulls up to some, like, nice. I said, you know, it's like 9:30. It's like we can't, you know, they're not. They just need a burger. Like, I mean, like, you know, well, let's just try. So we walk in this place. Never been in this place. I don't know where I was. Somewhere in Tinley, and there was a band setting up, getting ready to play, and it was loud. It was not going to be conducive for what I said. We're not going to stay here. Like, and he said, well, my husband's like, let me look at the menu. So my little guy, he's looking all around. He said, Mommy, they're singing. They're about to play. You should sing. You should be the one singing here. And he goes to the lady. My mommy sings. Can she sing tonight? Can she go in there and sing? And I was like, oh, baby, you have to be hired. And, you know, and he's like, I said, do you know what it means to be hired? I said, you know what it means by being hired? And I said, when Mommy goes and sings, they hire her. They pay me. She's like, oh, you get paid when you sing? I said, yes, that's right. I said, that's how Mommy contributes, you know, to the family. And he's like, oh, I didn't know. I thought you just go and sing. I was like, no. That's I sing because I like it. But yeah, you have to get hired. They have to pick you. They have to choose you. They have to decide they want to pay you and all this and stuff. But just those are the way, like you said, that it's like, okay, he gets it. And, I'll try. My oldest, he's, teenager. So he's kind of like, whatever. How many views do you have? Like, how many views do you have on YouTube?
How many likes you got?
Right. How many likes you got? How many views? Oh, Mom, that's nothing. You only have 5,000. That's 0. Like, I have that and just da-da-da-da. I'm just like, okay, whatever. But I see, for them, I know that now they, my youngest doesn't know me anything but as a singer, because by the time he got of age, that's when I was starting to really do it. My other one kind of remembers me doing a little bit, teaching a little bit as well. But yeah, so, and they get it, and I explain it to them a lot. My husband is ridiculously supportive. And actually, he's, after all that we went through, he's more, like, I almost jumped off the cliff the other week because I was getting frustrated about a couple things. I said, I just think I need a break. I think I just need it. He's like, a break from what? And I'm like, a break from like all of this. Like, this is like, and here I go, this is really hard. He's like, no, I know you're working really hard, but what are you saying you need a break from? Yeah. From what? And I'm like, I'm tired. Like, I just need to and he's like, well, are you saying a break from performing? Because it's not like you perform every day. I mean, you perform once a week, once or whatever. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, but that's what it takes. I don't just plop on the stage. Like, I gotta rehearse, I gotta do all this stuff. And so he's like, I'm saying this because this is you. Like, this is who you are. And so this is what you've been fighting for to do. So when you say you need a break, I'm just trying to understand what that means to you. Because what I don't want you to do is be on this break and now be all crazy again.
I'm like, we were before. What happened to my wife?
He's like, you're in a momentum now. Yeah. So you gotta, like, it's hard, and yes, pace yourself and those things, but you can't take a break. Right. Like, and I'm like,
go get some me time.
Right. But that's not, you're not gonna do a break. Yeah. And at first I was a little, and then I'm like pissed because like, you just don't get this. You don't get this. Uh-huh. And, some good things kind of I just got a really big, some huge news. I haven't been able to share it yet. Hopefully I can share it soon. But he was like, and you want to take a break. Like, well, you want to take a break. Yeah. You still want to take a break? I'm like, It's like, I'm like, I just want a normal life for just like a week. Like, I just need and I am trying to kind of set things up in a way that, because it has been intense. But he definitely sees the forest, and I see the trees so often, and I try very hard to get out of that, to get out of that, and and let me see let me see this whole landscape. And he goes through his stuff with his job. It gets very hectic in surgery, and patients' lives and lawsuits, and I mean, just it's a crazy space. And so I can see the forest when it comes to him, because I'm not in it, so I can say, look, it's just. You're not Jesus. Like, people die, people get sicker, people have complications, people, but that's like 2%. The other 98, you're saving people all day long. Yeah. It's like, so this case didn't go the way you thought or whatever. It's all right. You're not God.
Oh, so we're so easy to be able to look at somebody else's and say, look, get over it. Move on.
And so he's like, we have to do that for each other. And so, he's
that's a blessing of a good partnership. Yeah.
And it's taken us a long time to really do that to that, because I think we've always known we connected, but we were young. We were so young when we started this relationship, and so our marriage really has had to go through some tremendous growing pains. And I think we still, we still growing, but at least now we're at a space. It's almost 17 years, and we're at a space now where I'm not going to be looking out the window. Stop looking out the window. Yeah. Let's just stay here, because the moment you start looking out that window, you see trees, you see grass, you're just like, all like that. Yes. So, we're just trying to learn that. But we could talk forever about this, and I'm like, oh my God, it's like 9 o'clock. We could go on forever.
Is it 9 o'clock? Oh, no, we're going to wrap it up, because here's the thing. The one last question I have, and I don't like it to be a question, but just as a thought. What would you consider, I guess, as you look at your life as a whole, the authentic Kenya, what would you, in terms of advice, like, did you have people out there, women out there, I don't want to say people, women out there who are going to listen, and they're going to, like, how did you do it? How do I start now? How do I unleash the baddie now?
Yeah, and I'm asked that a lot. I think that for me, what I tell people, you have to first get honest. You're not going to be able to unleash anything until you get real honest. And getting honest and getting to that space of truth is usually a process. And it's not something that you just wake up, I'm going to honest. But you've got to start being curious about you.
I like that.
Curious. Yeah. And you're going to get some really, really, really good stuff, but you're going to get some really crappy stuff too. Mm-hmm. And the crappy stuff is what makes us get paralyzed, makes us stop, makes us put on the masks again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then makes us go in that I'm okay where I was, because that feels just a little bit, and so then you're not honest. And so to me, you can't unleash anything that you're not. You got to get to the honest. Now that doesn't mean you got to share with the world. That doesn't mean you got to put a Facebook post, right? Like you don't need to do a special post to how you got on it. You don't. I mean, you can, I guess, if you want to. I wouldn't, but but that may mean then counseling. Mm-hmm. Because I think that counseling does offer you the space to be able to kind of get it out, and then have somebody kind of moderate that for you. Because
a safe space.
Right, a safe space where you can get it out. Because a counselor is not going to fix it, and they're not going to tell you now do this and it'll be better. Yeah. They're just giving you the space, and they're helping you say, okay, let's put that over to the left. Yeah. Now let's get to the center. Now let's go over to the right. So I usually just try to tell people to start to get honest, and then do what, if you feel like you're having a hard time getting honest, consider counseling, consider journaling, consider anything that's going to give you the space to allow yourself to get to the good and not good. Mm-hmm. And I particularly, the shame is going to want to come quick, because the not good now I'm ashamed of that to a certain degree. Yeah. And so the shame starts the guilt, that starts that weird cycle, and now I'm back to comfort. So,
because it's not good. I want to do this.
It's too much. I'm not ready. Yeah. And in fact, the fact that it's even come in your mind means you're ready.
I like that. Get curious. Ask yourself those questions. But I guess if you start to get curious, I know about some personal friends when they made major changes, mm-hmm. whether it was I need to go through this divorce or whatever. Mm-hmm. The coward part of me was present, and I had to check it or shelve it. Right. And I just started asking myself questions.
Yes. And I am quick to tell people, because I think this is also another age, where we start questioning everything. This like 40s, should I be married? Should I be doing this job? Should I be, so there's a lot of those things. And I try to tell people, don't move too fast. Yeah. Because particularly with the whole like marriage and job thing, because those have been staples in your life. And so there probably does need to be some changes made. But don't go watch Susie across the street, who looks like she just did this, and she's great now.
Right now. She's probably been thinking about this, and
you have no idea what Susie went through to get to where Susie is. So don't think that if you just go leave right now or jump this job and you just this, ta-da, it's not going to happen like that. So that's another thing I tell people is, just be willing to be still. I know last year I allowed myself to sit in a lot of uncomfortable spaces. And a lot of what I used to do is, the moment I get uncomfortable, let me shift somewhere. Let me shift, mm-hmm. Just so I can get out of this. Let me get out of this. And I allowed myself for the first time, and this is mainly with personal life, to sit in the muck and cry in the muck and be really disappointed in the muck and feel lost a little bit in the muck.
And it's uncomfortable, but you got to be, that's a chance. But you maybe either hear that from someone or experience someone who's done that and said, it's okay, trust the process. Mm-hmm. Trust the process.
And I finally I had never allowed myself in my personal, like I had done that with the arts, like with the music and the, okay, I didn't get this opportunity, let me just trust that this, and I had started to learn how to do that. So I've been when I'm told a no and a lot of no's, or, this opportunity didn't come through, it really doesn't, I mean, you get a little like, oh, But it doesn't sidetrack me at all anymore. Like, I'm very clear. But my personal life